Hi Gemma, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. And you? Hi, my name is Gemma Perry and welcome to Mooncake ESL Teaching Made Easy. If you're new here, then you need to know that I make weekly ESL teaching tip videos to help you improve your English teaching. So if you are teaching ESL abroad, make sure you subscribe below and hit that notification bell for weekly ESL teaching tips. Also, real quick, if you are new here, say hi in the comments below and let me know where in the world you're teaching. Teaching how are you in the classroom can be tricky, and a lot of the time the class ends up sounding like robots. This is because we tend to teach how are you in the wrong way. Let me explain. When teaching how are you, teachers either tend to teach the robotic response, I'm fine, thank you, how are you? Or they use it as a gateway to teaching feelings and emotions. So they'll teach things like, I'm good, I'm great, I'm wonderful. But when we think about how we use how are you in our daily conversations, we use the question more as a greeting rather than a genuine inquiry into your well-being. So this is why when we ask young students, how are you? And they respond like this, I'm happy. It seems really weird. The robotic sounding response comes from the disingenuous way that we teach how are you in the classroom. We tend to teach those full grammatically correct sentences when in reality we would respond far more casually. Hey, how are you? I'm good, thanks. And you? So if we want students to be more fluent and more genuine with their responses, then we need to teach them a more genuine response in a more genuine tone. By that I mean we need to teach them, I'm good, thanks, and you? Rather than, I'm fine, thank you, and you? The and you at the end is also really important. It's like teaching students to say hello back to someone who has just said hello to them. So right from the beginning, we need to teach students to ask the question back, otherwise it just comes across as rude. But how can we practice this in the classroom? Well, that brings us on to today's game, Tornado. Now, to play this game, all you're going to need is a whiteboard marker, some kind of animal or toy, in this case a dinosaur, and an egg timer. Now, if you don't have an egg timer, your phone will do. Start by positioning the class in a semicircle with you, the teacher, in the middle. Next, you're going to draw a house on the whiteboard behind you and introduce that animal toy using TPR and chants as you do. If you're not sure how to use TPR in the classroom, make sure you check out my video on TPR linked below. Next, have students practice the how are you question a few times with the animal toy. Hello class, how are you? I'm fine, thanks, and you? Explain to the class that the dinosaur lives in the house you just drew on the board behind you and he stepped out to go to the store. However, as he was at the store, a tornado started coming and he needs to get home as quickly as possible. Explain to the class that the dinosaur needs to go around the whole circle and get back home before the tornado comes. Introduce the timer and set a time. Have students pass the dinosaur around one time without any language points before the timer runs out so that they understand how to play. Next, we're going to have students practice that target language by passing the dinosaur around the group without the timer. Have the whole class as a group ask that first student, how are you, and hand them the toy. That student then needs to say, I'm good, thanks, and you, and pass it to the student next to them. That student also responds with, I'm good, thanks, and you, and hands it on to the student next to them. Keep going until the dinosaur has gone around the whole circle. Next, we're going to do the same thing, but with the timer. Make sure you set the timer to a time that's challenging for students, but not too easy. If students aren't able to get that dinosaur around the circle and back home before that tornado arrives, then he gets blown away. If, however, they are able to get him back successfully and he's safe at home when the tornado arrives, write down their time, go again, and see if they can beat it. The one thing to pay attention to when you're playing this game is that as soon as you set that timer, students are going to try and speak as quickly as possible. This means that they might not speak as clearly as you would like. Make sure you highlight that students have to say the sentence clearly in order to be able to pass on that teddy. If they don't speak clear enough, just send that teddy back in the other direction. So there you have it, my top tips for teaching how are you in your ESL classroom. If you like this video, let me know by commenting with the word helpful in the comments below and by sharing with your fellow teachers. If you're looking for some more fun ESL games and advice, then you can check out some of my other videos right here. That's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, or if you're interested in a Mooncake sweatshirt or mug, you can find them linked below. And of course, remember to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more weekly ESL teaching tips from Mooncake.